Before we install the safety cover on LiBCM, we need to connect the 4x20 cable so that we can connect the 4x20 screen after we install it in the car. So if you look at this cable, there's two ends and they have two different pinouts. On one of them, the red connector is in position 1, and on the other one, the red connector is in position 2. We're going to take the connector that has the red wire in position 1, and we're going to plug it into this connector right here. This is a low voltage connector, but right down here, this is high voltage. You don't want to touch there. So the red wire goes where it says 5 volts. The black wire goes where it says ground. And you're going to just plug this wire in like that. And then you're going to take the wire and route it up and over. You don't need to cut this just yet. It'll make it easier to install it in the car if you haven't cut it. But it does need to route on top of this keyboard switch here. And then it'll just route around like that. To install the safety cover, we'll align these 5 bolts with these 5 studs. Notice that this 6th bolt here has a permanently affixed standoff. That is what pushes this button so that we know the cover is installed. So we'll align these bolts here and take a 2.5mm Allen wrench, and we will just thread each bolt in a couple of turns. Don't go more than a couple of turns. If this cover doesn't install, you can take and just pull it slightly so that it clears both this capacitor and the transformer down there. And then we'll install the middle threads next. Just a couple of turns. And then finally, we will install these threads here. Before we tighten this down, we need to make sure that the bottom edge of this is underneath the cover. It should feel kind of loose, so it should be underneath the enclosure here. The top needs to be on top of this enclosure like that, and then these wires need to kind of be up. There's a little groove here that they can slide in. So once we've verified all of those things, we can take and fully tighten the bolts. And with that, we've covered all of the high voltage portions of this PCB so that this is touch safe. Before we put the pack in the car, we should make sure it's working properly. So we're going to take our 4x20 screen, turn it over, take this cable and find the red wire. The red wire is VCC, which is printed on the circuit board. So we'll plug that in like that, and then we'll turn the screen and just set it right here.